Good evening, Iain. Dare I say you looked vulnerable against Plymouth?
Yeah, I think quite often at home we've looked vulnerable. I'm not sure whether that's based on the fact that Kieran's really got them doing what home fans want, which you're at home, we should be attacking, and we are attacking. But went 2-0 down against Cardiff. We lost the Leeds 4-3. Plymouth took an early start. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing guaranteed at Ipswich is you might get a goal. Just it's always turning into a game of attrition, and you got to just try and outscore us at home. On the road, totally different. I think we've let in only 3 goals all season on the road. So yeah, it's a big change when we go out on the road. And I'd love to see us adopt that mentality at home. We don't want to stop scoring goals, but yeah.
Were Plymouth unlucky? I mean, you'll hear from them later when they talk about refereeing decisions, but they were a good side, weren't they? Could that have easily been a draw?
I think, like I said last week, it was going to be a bit like a cup game. League position didn't mean anything. I think on Saturday, Whittaker's goal was sublime. It was a mirror of their goal at Portman Road last year, and it kind of took the wind out of us for a little while. There were a few dubious decisions. There's a massive debate over whether Edmondson had taken their man out and it should have been a penalty. I was sat right behind that, and it was, when you watch it in the flow of the game, there's almost a half a second gap before he goes down to ground. And then when you look at it in slow motion from the same view I had, it seems to me quite clear that there was no contact. It looks like it was from a different angle. And I guess that's the thing. I mean, the linesman was right in line with it. The referee probably had a good view. On a different day, a different referee would have given it. And I think that's the same in every fixture across the division at the moment. Inconsistency across the referees, which is what boils your blood. But he has to call it as he saw it. And I was saying to myself that was a really ballsy challenge from Edmondson. But like I said, they're going to dispute that. They're going to say it was a blatant penalty and a red card. And yes, if that had happened, 2-0 potentially. I'm not going to say we're not going to come back from 2-0 because we've already proved we can do that. But it would have certainly changed the dynamics of the game.
Okay. We heard from Leeds fan earlier who said they've given up on trying to catch Leicester. The league is Leicester's, but now their view and the view, I'm sure, of West Brom and Hull and even Birmingham and Southampton and others is to catch you boys. You are the hunted. How's that feel?
Well, I think that people are looking at Leicester and saying that they're going in their stride and they're just taking it nice and easy, and that Ipswich are a full sprint. And based on that theory, we're going to run out of wind. I'm going to have to break everybody's dreams here, because the spirit of the fans, the spirit of the club is a mirror of last season. And that pace that we kept up, we didn't falter when we went into the new year. There was a very small period, and we mended that by going into the transfer window in January. But I don't see Ipswich kind of letting off the pedal at all, to be honest. It's going to be a case of teams are going to have to raise their game. If they want to sit back and hope that we drop our game, well, they're going to be disappointed. They're going to have to raise their game to catch us. And that is more definitely feasible for any of the teams in the top 8 could be where we are now. It's just need a good run of wins.
Yeah. And just a word, when you look over at what's happening at the yellow and greens, any sympathy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, Norwich and Ipswich, they have a really good fan base, and their club was in a pretty strong position a few years ago, and now they're in total disarray. And as much as Ipswich and Norwich probably really have a hatred for each other, I always feel sorry for a team. Same again with Sheffield Wednesday. When you see that it's quite clearly something in the management, the non-football management, not the actual managers themselves. It's always frustrating. That's the same for any club.
Okay. And lastly, do you look at the Premier League and see Burnley and Sheffield United and Luton in the bottom 3 and think, it's not really worth going up, is it?
Yeah, you got to be careful what you wish for, haven't you? I guess as a player as well, some of the players know that if they have a cracking season and get us promoted, they potentially put themselves out of work for next year, because you've got to bring in talent. And we found that out on Wednesday night against Fulham. Just the pace of the game is on a different level. And you gotta think, are we going to go out there and get a whooping, or are we going to kind of be competitive? And I'd like to think it's the latter, and we can be competitive. But we'll see what happens in the January transfer window.
All right, let's get your predictions then. Thank you both. Adam, you can go first. Birmingham at home against an unbeaten Ipswich away side. What are you going with?
I think we'll surprise them. I think we'll go. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this weekend. I think we'll go 2-0. I don't think Ipswich will be up there come the end of the season. Every season there's a team that does this. Blackburn did it the one year. Barnsley did it. Got to the playoffs next year. Got relegated. Sheffield United went to the Premier League, one good season, then got relegated. There's a team every year. It seems to be Ipswich at the minute. Once the bubble bursts, they'll come down. They'll lose a few on the trot. I hate to break it to Iain, but hopefully that's us this weekend. We need it more than most. So yeah, I'll go 2-0 Blues. We'll see what Saturday brings.
Okay, Iain, come back at that.
Yeah, well, last time we played Birmingham, we drew and then got relegated into League One. So there's some open wounds that have fortunately healed over the last 6 years. I see it being another clean sheet on the road for Ipswich, and I would say probably 2-0 to Ipswich.
Okay. All right, something's got to give. Enjoy it both. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Cheers.
See you later.